Hello boys and girls and Cougar parents. Tonight we're going to be taking a look at placing real numbers on the number line. For the most part this is review. In fact, all of it is review. But being able to graph some of the inequalities, you might have forgotten how to do that. It's real easy. So let's just do a little refresher and do some practice together. Let's take a look at problems 1 and 2. They're simple enough. It just says graph the number on the real number line. So we've got 3.5. Is our first one, and we know that here we see 3, and 3.5 would be right between 3 and 4, right in there. I don't like that pen. Let's try this. Yeah, it'd be right in here. So 3.5 would fall right between 3 and 4. And then I have a negative 2.5, so that means I would go 2 to the left of 0, and then another half, which again would place that right between two integers, negative 3 and negative 2, so negative 2.5 would fit right in there. You go 2 to the left, and then a half more unit, which would get me right between negative 2 and negative 3. Now numbers 9 and 10, this is really simple too, but you may have forgotten some of the way we label or graph a number line. For example, if our number is equal, why isn't this showing up? Okay. Oh, that's why. So if our number is equal, we just would put a dot right on the number line where it belongs. If it is greater than, we would have an open circle with a ray pointing in the direction of the numbers going up. If it would be less than, it would be an open circle with a ray pointing to the left because the numbers are descending. Now if you would have something that looks like this, what does that mean? That means it's greater than or equal. It's a combination of my greater than sign and my equal sign. So that's how you would graph that. Let me scooch this up a little bit. And last, we would have something that might look like this when we're graphing these numbers on a number line, and that would be less than or equal. Okay, so let's take a look. The real numbers greater than 4. Well, I go to 4. Okay, do I put a fill in a circle there? No, because it's not equal to 4. Okay, it says greater than 4, so it has to be greater than 4. So I go to my 4 and I put an open circle, which shows that that's my reference point. But it's not 4. It can't be 4, but it can be anything greater than 4. So I have my ray or arrow pointing to the right because any number is greater than 4. And then for number 10, it's all the real numbers greater than 1. Same thing. We go to 1, we circle it, but we don't fill it in. That's our reference point. And then we have our ray pointing to the right, which symbolizes any number that is greater than 1, but not 1. Can't include 1. Next, let's flip over to the other side of the worksheet, and now we have some inequalities that we're looking at. These aren't equations, they're inequalities. And for number 21, it says for the inequality of x is greater than or equal to 6. Which number listed below makes the inequality true? Well, okay, is negative 2.6, is that greater than or equal to 6? No, that doesn't make any sense, so that's not any good. Is 0, what we're doing is just replacing these values for x. Is 0 greater than or equal to 6? No, that doesn't make any sense. Is 6 greater than or equal? It's not greater, but it is equal to, so that works. And then I have the square root of 83. Well, I know the square root of 83 has to be somewhere between the square root of 81 and the square root of 100. Okay, and the square root of 81 is 9, and the square root of 100 is 10. So somewhere between 9 and 10, that could also be true. Okay, so both 6 and the square root, 6 is equal to 6, so it makes this statement true. And the square root of 83 is somewhere between 9 and 10, so that would also be greater than 6, so it would make that statement true. Let's take a look at number 22. For the inequality x is less than, so we want to look at these values down here and see which one is less than 3. Well, the square root of 20, well, first of all, it's a negative. Okay, I can stop right there. I know that any negative number is going to be less than 3, so this one will definitely, we can estimate and find the range, and that range is going to be somewhere between -4 and -5. But both of those numbers are less than 3. Is 0 less than 3? Yes, so that would work. Is 3 less than 3? No. 3 is equal to 3, so that's not going to work. And 3 and 200ths, is that less than 3? No, that is greater than. So hopefully you get the idea and try the rest of the problems on your own. Let's graph two more inequalities. Here, number 29, and then we're done. Number 29, we have x is greater than -3. So I got to find -3, and it's greater than. So -3 is my reference point. I put an open circle, and x has to be greater than -3. So anything to the right of -3 would make that inequality true. And here we have x is less than 5. Okay, so I go to 5. It can't be equal to 5, so I put an open circle around it. And x can be anything less than 5, so that means that my ray would point to the left. Anything less than 5 would make that statement true. Well, I hope that was simple enough for you. It should have all been review. And if you have any questions or anything that you're uncertain about, please bring your questions to class tomorrow. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.